Guys and ghouls, welcome back to the Cozy Ghost. I'm your host, October, and welcome back to Cozy Ghost Babbles, a series where I get to talk about whatever I want for like 10 minutes, just so that we can have some more conversation on this channel and have a lot of fun talking about a bunch of stuff. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have a reason to. So, let's get to the spinny wheel. Alright, let's click this wheel to spin it. Alien! Okay. Okay. Alright. Today we are going to be talking about Alien. Okay, so Alien is a movie that came out in the 80s. It is about it's a sci-fi horror movie about this crew that's on this mission to basically deliver stuff from place to place. But on this mission, they also have they're also supposed to stop and collect or check out any life that they find on other planets. So they basically stop at this planet, and their science officer's super sketchy with it, and he's like, yeah, no, you guys have to go down there and check it out, it's protocol, right? Except they get attacked and they bring something back onto the ship, and our main girl Ripley, Sigourney Weaver, my queen, she's like, no, we have to follow correct procedure. If he's sick because the alien attaches to his face, she's like, no, you cannot bring him on here, you need to decontaminate, right? And she was like, and everybody else is like, no, you're heartless. So they bring him in, and surprise, surprise, big spoiler, he contaminates the ship because the face hugger puts eggs down his throat or whatever and then dies, or falls off his face or whatever. So dude has these alien eggs inside of him that end up hatching, and it bursts through his chest in that super famous scene. And then the alien goes around the ship, picking them off one by one and getting bigger and bigger. And then at the end of the movie, well, before the end of the movie, we only got 3 people left because they're like, we need to get the fuck out of here. And the science officer is like, no. So he attacks Ripley. And then they find out he's an android who's been programmed to hold the life of the alien above them because they want to use it as a bioweapon. The company fucking sucks. Actually, I thought that's what was gonna happen in Mouthwashing before, I found out it was, psychological horror. I was like, oh, this is definitely gonna be an alien situation. It was not. But yeah, so then, they're like, fuck this android, let's get the fuck out of here, and then everybody except Ripley and her cat dies. Kicks the bucket. They're gone forever and ever and ever, and they're all dead. So Ripley escapes with her cat, and, it's great. But it's a really good movie for so many reasons because it's gritty sci-fi, but it's also gritty sci-fi in the specific way of it's mechanical sci-fi. It is a giant ship taking stuff across the galaxy. So it's not sleek and whatever, it's practical. There are gears and chains and oil, and it's dirty because it is a working ship. It's gotta be mechanical. So that's one thing I do really like about, gritty mechanical sci-fi. I like it when you can, see the tech that's there and it feels very real. They also do a very good job of, making it scary even though you don't see the actual alien most of the time. And, the villain is less the alien itself as it is the corporation, and that's a really fun strand throughout the entire series, basically, that the corporation is hella evil. In the second one, it's the same fucking thing. Somebody else is yeah, no, we're gonna save this alien so that we can take it back to the corporation to use as a bioweapon. They send Ripley back in there 50 years later, and she's like, fuck no, but then she finds this child that she has to protect, and the third movie sucked. I'm sorry. It was good from the perspective that it was, entertaining, but the way it starts, it ruins everything that happens at the end of the second movie, pisses me off, and then kills off my girl Ripley. The fuck? I know she comes back in, the fourth one, but I'm not watching that shit. The third one sucked. No. But the movie does a lot of really interesting things. One of the things that I really like about it is that it takes, a lot of the horror of the movie is things that men do to women happening to men. And when I mean that, I mean, pregnancy and, a sexual assault. Because that's pretty much what the alien like the face hugger emulates, it literally emulates sexual assault in the fact that this thing is literally shoved down your throat. You cannot get it off. Like, and it is literally planting eggs inside of him. Like, it is horrible. And then it also resembles sexual assault and pregnancy when he literally gets an alien bursting from his chest. Like, it really plays into the brutality of, like, pregnancy, pretty much, in a way that terrifies men, which I think is fascinating. Because the movie really isn't gory in the sense that it's like, oh, everyone has these super violent deaths. It's, like, horrifying in the sense that, oh, like, this thing can burrow inside you and burst out of you, and it, like, hunts you through the halls. Like, it's definitely, it's good in that sense, because it creates a different kind of horror. I also like the fact that, like, people are like, oh my gosh, how did you write Ripley as such a, like, realistic female character? And the scriptwriter was like, well, basically, I wrote her as a man, and then I swapped the gender. And it's like, yeah, no, because writing women is actually really easy. All you have to do is, you know, treat them like human beings, and there you go, you're done. Like, that's, you've written a woman. Gasp. Women are people? Question mark? Source? But yeah, like, let's be so for real. And I like that the cat lives, because that would have been shitty if they'd killed the cat John Wick style. But I also actually really like the world that Alien, like, created afterwards. Like, it's very interesting. It's super specific, too, because it's like, yeah, so there's this, like, really hard to kill xenomorph thing. I don't know if they actually ever call it a xenomorph in canon, like, in the first 3 movies, because those are the only ones I've watched. But it's like, this is this thing that multiplies like crazy, is gross as hell, and is, like, a killer deadly machine. And, like, this corporation the whole time is like, yeah, we want it for ourselves because we're different and we'll live, but we'll weaponize it. It's like, babes, you're not special. It will kill you. Like, you're gonna die. Which is, like, kind of hilarious. One of the things that they do in the 3rd movie is she literally lands, like, these are all spoilers, by the way. These are all, they're on, like, this, she lands on this fucking prison planet and, like, falls for one of the prisoners. And, like, they get it on, good for her. But then, you know, she dies because, like, if you have sex in a horror movie, you die. The fuck? But it's true. For the most part. But yeah, so, and they have it done in such a way that it's like, all of these prisoners are like, yeah, no, fuck the corporation. Like, let's kill this bitch, because the corporation's gonna get her, and that shit sucks. They bring back the android in, like, every movie, which I think is so funny, because it's like, sure, yeah, he's the one character you can keep bringing back. But, like, every movie, they're like, oh, he's completely destroyed. We can't really do anything. Let's just, like, press his wires together and bring him back to, like, question him. Like, dude cannot catch a break. But, you know, he was also, like, an asshole, so it's like, I only kind of feel bad. But the movies are really good. It's a very visceral horror. Because it's, again, the second movie plays a lot on, like, the fear of rape. Like, very much on that fear. And, like, especially in the scenes where, like, literally the little girl and Ripley are trapped in a room with the facehuggers, like, it's very much, that is what it is emulating. And it's terrifying. It's, like, super uncomfortable, and, like, that's the whole point. Like, it is extremely uncomfortable to watch. And basically, they confront the guy who, like, basically locked them in there, and he was like, I mean, yeah. And it's like, bruh, like, no remorse. It was crazy. But the movie does a really good job of portraying that in such an uncomfortable way that it, like, evokes fear for everybody, and I really like that. And I like the way that they just have Ripley kick ass in every movie. Like, she kicks ass and sticks it to the man in every film that I've seen. Like, the first 3. Like, shit eats. And it, like, it really holds up well as a movie. Because it's, like, it's weirdly diverse for the time. Like, it came out in, like, either the 70s or the 80s. But, like, it's it's got a fairly diverse cast, like, especially for the time. And they treat all of their characters as three-dimensional, like, characters, which is, I know I shouldn't be impressed by that again, but, like, the standards are low. Um, but, like, it's such a solid horror movie, because it's such good sci-fi that the horror hits correctly. If you're doing, like, a genre combination movie, like, you've really got to get that first genre down for the horror to work. Like, if it's a paranormal horror, you've got to get the paranormal right or the horror doesn't work. Like, you have to get the sci-fi right or the horror doesn't work. Same with fantasy. Like, it all has to mesh together perfectly. And I think Alien does a really good job, like, as a whole. Now, if you haven't seen Alien and if you watched this far in, sorry for spoiling it for you, but it's a good series and you should watch it anyway. The third movie, not my fave. Definitely liked the second better, although the second wasn't great either. The first one's a classic, and it always should stay that way. But I have run out of time, so I'm going to end this episode here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. If you have any more movies that you want me to watch or talk about, comment it down and put it down below in the comments. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!